the electrical impulse of the heart. The heart will pump by itself. It's an amazing thing. Okay? It could be severed off the nervous system and yet will still beat. If you take your radio, could I still use radio? Do people really listen to radios? I don't know. But you know what I'm talking about by radio. We're still in a generation that you guys know what a radio is. If I have the radio plugged in and it's playing a song, beat it, right? It's playing a song. Then I take out the plug off the wall. The radio's still playing. Beat it, beat it. How could that be? We just severed it off the electricity from the wall, yet it's still playing music. How could that be? What does the radio have? A battery. Basically, your heart has a battery. It's called a pacemaker. Okay? And it will beat by itself. As long, if you could, and you're probably all thinking about this after that little quiz. Maybe not yet. If you could reach in and pull out my heart, and you put it in saline, and you don't deprive it from oxygen and nutrients, it will beat by itself. Does not need to have the nervous system hooked up to it. Okay? It needs a nervous system to make the heart rate go faster and slower, but it will beat by itself about 70 to 80 beats per minute. But if you're being chased by a bear, you need that to go faster. It's not hooked up to the nervous system. It's not going to go faster or slower. All right? So we have this thing. The electricity starts off in the right atrium in an area called the SA node, or the sinoatrial node. Then it's going to spread across. That electricity is going to spread to both atria. And then in the right atrium also, there's going to be another area that's going to take on that electricity. It's called the AV node, the atrioventricular node. Okay? Then it's going to send its electrical, well, that electrical impulse is the action potential. Oh my God, action potential's coming back? Yeah, okay? It's coming back over here. You got to go review all that stuff. Depolarization, repolarization, all that wonderful stuff. Sodium going in, potassium going out. Now we have to add another one called calcium. Oh, you're going to love it, okay? So that electrical impulse, or action potential, is then going to be passed from the SA node, which that's where it begins. It's going to send it to the AV node, to an AV bundle, also known as the bundle His. We have two branches that go down into the interventricular septum. They're called bundle branches, and then it goes up to either side, and they're called Purkinje fibers. This is another picture showing the same thing, but more detail, the details that you need to know for both lab and lecture. There's the SA node, spreads across to both atria. The atrioventricular node, the AV node, is now going to take the baton. If you're thinking about a relay race, it's going to take the baton of that action potential, and it's going to spread it into the AV bundle, also known as the bundle His. Then it goes down the interventricular septum as the right and left bundle branches. And when it gets to the apex of the heart, the pointing end of the heart, which is down here, believe it or not, the base is up here, and the apex of the heart is down here. So when it gets to the apex of the heart, it's then going to go into the walls of the ventricles as Purkinje fibers. Now, could I borrow your bottle? No. Okay. This is a thing that I think you guys need to understand, and taking an online course for lecture, you're not going to get it unless someone actually comes up here and show you, because it doesn't really explain it well in the books. Think of this as your heart, okay? There's the apex, this is the base up here, and put a sock over this. Now the Purkinje fibers are going to go into the sock. Does that make sense? It's every picture that I've seen shows it going to the right and goes to the left. That's not wrong, but it's misleading, because they also come out of the board too and into the board. So they don't go to the right and left only. It's going, this Purkinje fibers, the Purkinje fibers are going to go all around the ventricles. Does that make sense? And that's not explained very well in your textbooks. It'll just say going into the ventricles, and you're just going to read right by it. And you're going to look at this picture and say, it's just on the two sides. No, it's all around. You got to think three-dimensionally. Does that make sense? Okay? So again, really quickly, SA node to AV node to bundle of His to the two bundle branches to the Purkinje fibers. Pretty easy. There's only 5 things. And in this school, we have a model to show this. Okay? Not my choice of paint. They have a clear model here, and they're showing you a trajectory of the action potential or this electrical impulse in yellow. I would have picked a darker color, but they chose not to. What do you expect for $300? All right, so if you have the clear model on your practical exam, it's going to ask for one of those 5 things. And when you get it, you'll be able to see it. You'll see where the AV or the SA node is up here, the AV node is in here. You'll see the bundle of His, the 2 bundle branches, and the Purkinje fibers pointing up there. Okay, it's painted in yellow. Sorry about that. It's the best model we can get with that. Okay, questions? Okay. So a little bit more about this, the sequence. The SA node will fire by itself. It gets excitable by itself, okay? It only will be at 70 to 80 beats per minute, as I explained to you. And then it spreads to both atria. After that, it goes to the AV node. Okay? And that's in the right atrium also. Now let me also explain to you, you've heard people saying that they need a new pacemaker. What happens sometimes is that the SA node doesn't fire anymore. And what happens with that is that the AV node takes over. The problem is that if the SA node doesn't fire anymore, it's not going to beat the 70, 80 beats per minute. It's going to start beating at 40 to 50 beats per minute because that's what the AV node can do. It does it slower. You're not going to die right away, but you will notice certain things. For instance, I can normally walk 20 blocks and that's no issue. But you know what? For the past 2 weeks, I'm walking like 1 or 2 blocks and I'm like huffing and puffing. Yet I haven't gained any more weight, my legs are fine. They do an EKG and see that the SA node is not firing. Okay? I said, you're not going to die right away. You're just not going to be, you're going to see certain things not working. You know, I tell 12 steps to get up to my house or into the doorway. I usually have no problems, but I got to stop after the 6th step and I got to catch my breath. I mean, why? What's happening for the past couple weeks? This could be the reason. I don't want you to diagnose and say, well, that's what Dr. Gamarl says. There's the SA node and you're on pace. No, I'm just saying that if the pacemaker's not working, you're gonna see some sort of symptoms that, you know, you can't do what you usually do. You're not gonna wake up one morning dead. You see what I mean? It's gonna show you that way. All right. If the AV node doesn't work also, then we have the bundle of His. This will seriously cause problems though, okay? Because it's going to make your heart beat about 20 to 40 beats per minute. This will put you in a coma. It's like putting only emergency lights on when a hurricane occurs, all right? You can't really study, you can't really teach with that, but you could see, you know, to get out of here, to go, you know, leave the building, the emergency lights, okay? This will put you in a coma because you can't really sustain life with just 20 to 40 beats per minute. It's just going to make sure the brain is working, the heart is working, the lungs, and the kidneys. But that won't last for too long. You know, you'll be in a coma, and that'll put you in the hospital, and they got to figure out what's going on. Then you have the right and left bundle branches. All right, I'm not even going to mention how fast that goes. All right, and then the Purkinje fibers. Keep in mind that it's not just on the left and right side, it's all around the ventricles. Okay?